Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Morning Delight on Lagos Television, and it's open access where we allow you to share your thoughts with us on this segment of the program. And today on the show, we'll be taking a look at how can youth take the lead. And today on the program, as we shift focus on leadership again, we have Abiola Salami, a leadership coach, youth motivator, and of course the originator of the Champion brand. I said Abiola Salami, but I also know you're Abiola Champ.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine and well. I'm trying to recover from the conversation I heard from you guys, and it's just a conversation I was expecting on this table. But it's okay. I'm sure next time it's.
Well, our producer will be right here with it in a couple of minutes.
Okay, good.
Good. That's put that guy on the spot.
That's quite hopeful.
It's not
going to work. You're quite hopeful.
Yes, I am. Especially about the Nigerian youth, and that's what we're talking about today. We always have this conversation. He's always like, oh, Nigerian youth, are they really ready? No, you can't generalize, because there are a lot of Nigerian youth doing great things who are ready to take up the leadership mantle of this country. On what side are you on?
What side? I don't know.
I am saying that, I always say that Nigerian youth, if you find the right one, they're ready. Okay. You know, they're ready to take up the lead.
He's saying
nah, not ready.
Well, you know, one of the things I've observed in the country is when there is a problem, we have three ineffective approaches to solving the problem. One is finger pointing, point fingers at people. Second, instead of looking at the man in the mirror. The second way we do it is buck passing. You know, we blame them. You know, and what we need to look at really regarding young people is to ask how engaged are these young people. We seem to have an unrealistic expectation about young people. We seem to demand a lot from young people. We demand so much more than what we give to them. In fact, to a large extent, we don't give young people anything. In fact, the other day, you know, it was critiqued that somebody said that some Nigerian youth are lazy. You know, well, thankfully they took us to Russia. You know, well, they won a match and they did well. But what I'm saying in all of this is that we have an unrealistic expectation about young people in Nigeria. And what we need to do, everybody that is interested, not just analysts, not just critics, but anybody that's interested in seeing young people get better, need to start to think about the kind of environment we need to build to make sure that they thrive and they grow. Should make sure that we put certain things in place to help them to develop the right skills that is needed to make them competitive, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe. I mean, these are the conversations we should be having about young people, and not just thinking they are not ready, they are not serious. There are a good number of them who want to take up action, who want to take responsibility. But if I don't have the skill to do what I need to do, how far can I go in doing it? And having interest is one thing, but having opportunities is another thing.
Okay, who is actually in charge of providing the good environment? Who is in charge of actually bridging the gap? Who is in charge of actually providing the skill set? Who actually is that bridge between the inefficiency or inability to fulfill potential of the Nigerian youth and the government that seems not to be having that much to give to them?
Okay, so you mentioned one of the stakeholders in charge, which is government. In fact, you mentioned two, which is the youth themselves. Now, there are many agencies that should contribute to this. One is the government, two is government agencies. I'm separating government from government agencies.
Why?
Two is government agencies.
The same thing.
Because for government is to make the policies, for the agencies is to implement the policy. Right, and so the government agency, parents, they have a role to play, schools, religious organizations, and NGOs,
and youth themselves.
So when we're having this conversation, we always look at young people alone. We talk to them about what they should do, and at times they're looking at, yes, not that I don't want to, I want to, but I don't have the skills, I don't have the opportunity to. Hey, that's it. There are a number of people who task themselves, regardless of the opportunities not available, who task themselves to growing and thriving in spite of the situation. But we're saying that it is not a recommended situation that we have in our hands. It is not the best of times that we have in our hands. Are there things we can do to help things get better, to help them get better, rather than always pointing fingers? You need to be disciplined. Why are you doing yahoo? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I think what we need to do, while I condemn crime 100%, we also need to create opportunities for them to learn, for them to grow, for them to do business. Those who want to go into entrepreneurship, we need to also put certain things in place to teach them, to create the right markets for them to grow and thrive.
I also know that we complain a lot, we, many Nigerians, or a lot of people complain about inadequate opportunities, inadequate support from government. But not to say that government is not playing a part of its own role. Our Nigerian youths are taking advantage of, the seemingly small or minute efforts of government.
What to look at is, whenever there's a government intervention, how fair is the process? How open is this process? How many people actually get to know about it? How many people get to know about it before they're supposed to know about it? Right? These are questions to ask, really. There are accusations of people that when there's something for young people, they just always divert it to their family members or to their relatives or to people that they know. How open are these policies, and these opportunities? Those are the questions to ask, really. Because we cannot keep paying lip service to this thing that the youth are the future, are the leaders of tomorrow. Somebody said in the 80s we were in school and they said that we are the leaders of tomorrow, and those that are leaders are still leaders of tomorrow. All of that conversation. So we need to not just to pay lip service, but to really be committed to providing solutions. So you said that you want to put a policy in place to give people maybe some funding to do business, to give them access to market. How many people know about this? How fair is the process? Is there still favoritism in the process, or is it fairness? Is it about merit? Is it meritocracy or favoritism? Those are questions to have. These are questions to answer to guide us into knowing if we are really serious about what we're talking about. It's easy to come on air and analyze and criticize and do all of
I was about to go there.
Yes, but solution is what we are looking for. And guess what? We know the solutions.
Okay, let's talk about solutions. So I have this young guys always on my streets, and I tell them, "Oh, boss, they hail you, like, you're welcome back." And I say, "Okay, you just take up a trade, I'll pay for it." Okay, so they start. In between, he said, "Boss, I don't know if you do this one again."
Why?
I think he found something more interesting. Perhaps they won the bet.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
There was free money that time. So he said, I want to do something. I just want to play football. Then another one comes, okay, if you can just give me this thing to support me, I want to learn a trade. But in between, so she got pregnant, and that was how it ended. So she didn't go back to this. No, I'm citing instances like these are opportunities right there. We're talking about the university graduate, and government has said, okay, there's this N-Power, there's this Ready Set Work, there's this from Lagos State government. These are opportunities, but we find the youth themselves saying, look, I just want them to come to my house. Give me the money.
They want to share 322 million.
Let me share the money. I know what I will do. When the money comes, I'll tell you what to do.
Okay, good.
I've just cited instances of opportunities beckon on a daily basis. You just walk, you just say, there are few Nigerian youth that actually take advantage of these opportunities without actually blaming anybody or blaming the environment or blaming the process. So I can mention a couple, and they are doing well now. What happened to the majority of people that the opportunity keeps staring them in the face and nothing?
So our role is to keep inspiring, instructing, and directing these people. You cited 3 examples, and I want to comment on each of them. The first person that you said he wants to play football. Now, if that is a skill and what he wants to do, the question to ask is how far is he seeing what he wants to do? Is he looking at championship? Is he just looking at being in the local league in Nigeria? If he's looking at something big, can he register in an academy and grow that in that line? That is one. Two, the other lady that you said along the line she got pregnant, the fact that you get pregnant, and please, in case you are watching me right now, listen to me. You know, the fact that you are pregnant and you are young, maybe you are still in school or something, does not stop you from continuing school. After 9 months, you delivered this baby. For a few months also, you win and take care of the baby. Please, you need to go back to school or find something tangible to do. It does not end. Pregnancy is not the end of your career, the end of your future. You don't have to get pregnant, give birth, and go and sit down inside one man's house just like that. You don't want to. You still want to take up responsibility and grow. And there are several examples of people I can cite for you who, you know, at some point in time they got pregnant, they gave birth to the child, took care of the child, and went back to school, and they are high flyers in the society now. That's it.
Some first-class graduates.
Yeah, you know, that's it. The third person, you know, said that there are opportunities out there, but they are waiting for somebody to come and give them the money. You know, we cannot separate the reality of our youth from the reality of our society. The reality of our youth, the things they hear, the things they listen to, the reality of our society. There's a lot of things going on out there. You hear today somebody took one money, somebody, you know, all of those things. Those young people are watching TV, they are listening to radio, they are hearing the things going on in the society. The content of their mind is what is coming in through their gates, their ears and their eyes. So while we look forward to, while we, you know, will blame those young people who are not, you know, up to it, we should also know that we've contributed to where they are in some sense. Why? Because we are giving them some information. I mean, you just see somebody that was a nobody today, and then because the person got some opportunity somewhere that is not thorough diligence, hard work, process from 1 + 1 that is equal to 2, you see the person thriving and the person has been celebrated and the person is a senior person. Immediately that becomes a role model for someone that is watching and hoping. So when you're talking about ready, set, work, you're talking about empower, you're talking about all the other beautiful initiatives by the government, the guy doesn't care because he has seen another person. That one is even more rude to him. He doesn't know empower, he doesn't know ready, set, work, but he probably knows somebody on the streets that is being celebrated. You know, so that is why it's important for us to know that all the avenues we have to teach, to instruct, to guide, to support and inspire people to behave correctly will contribute to having a critical mass of young people living responsible lives. Very important.
Okay, then you can be part of our discussion today on the show by calling 0811-266-8143, 0811-266-8143. You can also send messages to 08055213149, 55213149. You can also tweet at us at Lagos Television or at Tbrains, TEEBRAINS, or at Joshua Murakinyo, capital J, capital M.
Carry. See, one of the reasons why I really do like you. Come on.
Josh. Okay, then we talk a lot about what the older generation are doing, plus and minus, positive and negative, but there's a responsibility on the middle age. Because, you know, you talked about growing up back then, and you hear we're the leaders of tomorrow. When you get there, you do this, you do that, you fashion out a path for the younger generation. At this point in time, what do you think that middle age, or with the youth that are to take up leadership position now, what path should they build for the younger generation? If you don't want to repeat what happened in the past, you know, growing up for what's coming.
Okay. What the middle age guys should know is you don't have to be called a mentor for you to be a mentor. In fact, you're already a mentor. In fact, you're already a mentor. You know, your conduct, what you say, but much more what you do, because it is said that what you do is so loud that I cannot hear what you are saying. Right? So what you do is already, you're already mentoring someone. There's somebody looking up to you somewhere already, with the things that you say, with the things that you do. So it's important for us to consciously behave, to model the kind of behaviors that we want to see. I'm still talking about our unrealistic expectation about young people. Just imagine a parent who had paid for the child through school. paid. I'm not talking about school fees now. You know, I'm talking about, you know, in one way or the other trying to maneuver the system, trying to bribe somebody, trying to buy question paper or results, all of those things. And now the guy is a graduate. What kind of expectation do you have about a gentleman like that or a lady who had gone through a process that lacked merit like that? The person will be expecting that the world is revolving around him or her, and will be expecting just the pie to be dropped on his table or into his plate. So it's important for us to know that even whether you are not the parent of the person as a middle-aged person, or they are just maybe like uncle or auntie, that you are already a mentor. You don't have to be called a mentor before you be a mentor. You are a mentor, and they are looking at you, and by the things you do, that is what they will do as well. They may not understand it, but you see, what you do and they get from you is more real to them than whatever any other person is saying to them. So our role is to model the kind of behaviors that we want, the kind of attitude and character that we want. So we want to build our competence, very important, and we want them to see how diligent we are with our competence too. Is we want to maintain integrity. You know, we want to maintain integrity. It is said that when money is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. So as a middle-aged person, you also want to maintain the right character and integrity. You know, and they say, you know the song that wherever you go, whatever you see, do not say yes when you mean to say no. You know, so as the middle-aged person, say yes and mean yes, say no and mean no. These things are more real to young people than any other thing that any other person is saying out there.
You said something, and you've mentioned it like 3 times: unrealistic expectation of the Nigerian youth. Off
the Nigerian youth.
Good. The clamor is to have a change of personnel at the leadership of this country. Is to have young people manage this country. That is Adetola's desire.
Not just any young people.
Okay. Now, how do you marry the unrealistic expectation of a Nigerian youth and vis-a-vis having them in power?
Okay. So, we have unrealistic expectation of Nigerian youth. Right? Because we are demanding from them what we have not given to them. It's on that premise. About young people in leadership, for me, it is less of the age, but more of the competence of the individual.
Absolutely.
So whether you are 60 or 20, the question is, are you competent? But the sad thing about the conversation about having young people is nobody's talking about competence. Everybody's just talking about young people. Also, when you reverse them, they'll cite examples that some people were so and so age when they took on leadership. How come, you know, these days they're still there? The question to ask is what we need from independence till now, which we don't have yet, which is why we are where we are, managing, struggling, is we need competent people in power. If the person is 20 and competent, if the person is 40 and competent, the person is 50 and competent, we need competent and credible people in power. So the conversation is not just about age again, it's about the capacity of the individual. Okay. It's about maturity and the capacity of the individual.
So that's what we should look at as against looking at whether the person is in his 30s or in his 40s.
Not just the age.
And you know, that's where I come from too. It's not just about the age, it's about what you have in you, what you have to deliver. Which brings me back to, you talked about Nigerians or the people, you know, asking for what they did not give. For example, leadership shouldn't just be, you know, something that you take up when you're 50 or 60. I'm talking about education now, because I think we really need to have leadership skills or leadership courses or classes, even right from primary school, because in some form of way, at that stage, at every other stage in life, you get to become a leader. But when you're not given it, how do you get to churn it out?
You know, there's a fundamental error in our understanding of leadership. We think that leadership is about occupying a position, right? We think leadership is about occupying a position. That is not leadership. That is politics and the things that come with it. Leadership is about disposition, not position. A disposition in your traits, your character traits, the way you behave, the way you lead. And you don't need to be in a position to function as a leader. You can influence wherever you are. Right now, you don't have to be the president of Nigeria. Wherever you are in your community, on your streets, you don't have to be the chairman of your local government, but you can influence certain things, can make certain things happen. As we speak, people talk about area boys. Those guys are leaders. Why? They influence things within their community. What do we need to do with them? It's just to help them channel that influence that they have correctly, so that they positively start to grow their community and add value. So when we talk about education, getting leadership education, that is where it's important that we know it's about building the necessary traits, that are really, really germane to having development. Number one on the list, the kind of trait that we should start to develop is vision. Vision, a picture of a future, a picture of a desirable future. So whether you're a 5-year-old, remember when we were younger, what do you want to be in the future? That is vision speaking. There you say you want to be a doctor or an accountant or something. Later on,
but reality caught up with us.
It is okay to have that vision. It gives you a roadmap. It gives you what you are running towards. It gives you what you are racing towards, so that you develop yourself towards that vision. So vision is key. Not just national vision, because we like to talk about national vision, and people abandon their local, family, street, community, state vision. So vision is key, one thing. The other thing, the next thing that is key is integrity. Starting to model integrity even from a younger person. That is why as a parent, you will do what you say. You don't just say it, you do what you say. You teach integrity. I mean, you won't be the kind of person that wants to, the child has done something wrong in class and the teacher wants to discipline the child. You won't be the one that will shout on the teacher or disgrace the teacher, or rebuke the teacher from doing what the teacher is supposed to do. You won't be the one that will go and bribe anybody to have your child to pass on from class to class to class. Those things are the leadership traits that are supposed to be built even from cradle, even in our educational system. And we're not just saying it as theory, it is what we are living and practicing and doing.
We should begin to read people, good leaders. I think that's also work. Study, maybe for example, I don't want to go, another Femi Awolowo. This, there should be a course, so that people can carry on just pick one or two things from each leader and set apart for yourself.
Well said. And again, leaders are not perfect people.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Learn from the weaknesses.
Leaders are not perfect people. You will see there is no human being, no matter how highly regarded the human being is, no matter how well respected and how inspiring the person has been, there is no one human being on earth that I have seen that does not have weaknesses. In fact, they have loads of weaknesses, right? So when we're talking about leaders, we're not talking about perfect people, but we're talking about people with the right hearts to do the right thing, no matter who is doing the wrong thing. That is what we're talking about.
Okay, we still have the lines open for you. It's called Open Access. So please do call in. Do let us know how you feel about the conversation today.
I think we have someone online, but you need to speak up a little louder. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Adetola.
That sounds like Otumba.
This is Otumba Takayi from Ado-Ekiti.
Good morning. Thanks for calling in every time.
Thank God. It's a nice show, and you guys are doing wonderfully well.
Thank you so much. Please, your contribution this morning.
You see, Nigerian youth need to wake up. The young man you have there is making sense, a lot of sense, and I think I would want to invite him to Ekiti one of these days. Nigerian youth need to wake up. They are sleeping, apart from the fact that the government and leaders are not up to the task, they are not putting the right records in place, statistics zero. Nigerian youth need to wake up. You don't have to go illegal roads to make it in life. You need to wake up. And for Nigerian youth to take up leadership, zero. I don't think we are prepared. I don't think they are prepared to do things like that. When I was in the university, when I was about 40 years old, I was already a lecturer. So what are you talking about? Nigerian youth need to wake up. They are not ready to be good leaders. Thank you for bringing this young man to the show this morning. I'm enjoying you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I think it is fun.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're not going to agree with that the young people are not ready for leadership, right? because it's about the character, it's about the personality, what you can deliver, as against your age, right?
Josh, don't start.
Okay.
I was about to say Iyoko.
He said he's going to invite you to.
I was about to say Iyoko to him. You know.
What do you have to say about what he just said?
So it is good for us to look at our examples and think of the present generation and compare what we achieved. I mean, and I'm talking about the senior people in the society.
Okay.
The senior citizens.
Can you please just hold your thoughts so we can take another call?
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Annie, and I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Thank you for calling. What's your contribution this morning?
Yeah, actually, I want to speak on what the other caller said.
Okay.
He was saying the youth are not ready to be leaders. Okay, let's look at, for instance, these men that are now leaders that we see as our leaders, what are they doing for the youth? All they are doing is to get money, to cater for their own families, to send their own children outside country. Why we, the youth here, we're suffering in this country? Imagine, why would someone study for 18 years and come out to apply as a cleaner? Does it make sense in this country, Nigeria? It doesn't make sense. So all we have to do is let the government, okay, if they think youth are not ready to rule, let them make a job opportunities. Because that's why the young boys, when they see all these artists like Whiskey, they want to make easy money. That's what to push them to make all this Yahoo, to scam people. So what we have to do, let the government, okay, if they say we're not able to rule, they should make a job opportunity for us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think your thoughts were outlined there. You were saying something. Perhaps you can just add what he said to the discourse.
Okay, there are real issues, and we should not shy away from those issues, and we should not explain the issues away. We shouldn't shy away from the issues, and we shouldn't explain the issues away, and we shouldn't just finger point. We should look at solving problems. This gentleman, let me start with him. This gentleman said some things, which, and also, I want you to know, I know you are still watching, that everything you said, they are real issues. I will analyze them one after the other, but they should also be your excuse for not thriving and succeeding. Because in the midst of all of this turmoil, there are people who don't know anybody. There are people who are not the sons of anybody or daughter of anybody, but they task themselves, and they are not stealing anybody's money as well. But they task themselves to becoming a person of value so that they can start to receive value as well. You know, it is true that if the society is better, these people will receive more value than what they are receiving now. So what you want to do, my friend, is to make sure you're a person of value, to develop your capacities so much that people will be looking for you. I mean, you just heard a call before your call that someone is about to go to Adoikiti because of value. You know, and you can be sure that some value exchange will happen with that. You know, so that is my word for you. That said, there are issues, and we cannot explain away those issues or shy away from those issues. There are people directing the treasury to themselves and their families.
Hold that thought for a second. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What's your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
My name is Adepoju from College Road.
Glad to have you join us. What's your contribution?
Yes. Pertaining to this issue of Nigeria youth are not ready to lead. Are they the people on the top, our leaders? Did they give youth the role to play? Did they allow youth to participate? So many youth are graduates that they will not allow to be in that to enter into their campus. They are secure opportunity for their children. If you are not belongs to them, you cannot join them. That's the problem in Nigeria. Imagine someone change the children outside Nigeria, and the children that go to university in Nigeria, when they take their CV there, so far you are not from California, you are not from US, you cannot be employed. How can Nigerian youth wake up? How can they take lead? So our leaders need to give us role to play.
How about finding a role for yourself as a youth?
You sir?
How about finding a role for yourself as a youth?
How can I have a role for myself as a youth?
Yes, how about finding it? You know, if they're not giving it, you can, you know, actually cultivate one.
Yeah, you can find out something yourself. You can carve a niche for yourself in the midst of all the issues. You see, because what we should do...
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling.
Okay. Because you see, what we should do is, there are real issues. We should not shy away from those issues. We should discuss those issues. At the same time, for the young person, these issues should not stop you from thriving and growing and becoming the champion of your dreams. By the way, not just a local champion, but a global champion of your dreams. There are issues again. These issues, we should not cover them up. You know, we should discuss them and look for solutions to them. But as a young person, on the other hand, in spite of this issue, you want to thrive. Light only shines brighter when there's darkness. So I think it's a golden opportunity for young people that the country is even like this, so that they can shine better, those who can task themselves. But we shouldn't shy away from the issues.
Now, most times Nigerian youth read some valid issues, valid points, e.g. like because he has studied abroad, even without looking at the competence of the person, they'll say, oh, because you went to ABU and he went to California, California would have been better. So we have you in place to position. But they don't know exactly how capable the person is to deliver. Of course, we have issues of you're not giving us role to play in the political space, even though we've not joined the political party to actually participate in the process. But we agree that, of course, you need to invite us to the table for us to actually enjoy. Is that how it should work?
Okay, so the way it should work for whatever you want in life as a young person is to know that life will not give you what you deserve. Life will only give you what you demand. Life will not give you what you deserve. You deserve some accolades. When you demand some accolades, you will get some accolades. Now, the demand is not even by asking with what you are saying. The demand is by asking by what you are doing. How? What's the difference? Every now and then, people are always asking, give young people a chance, give young people a chance. But there are many young people who have chances now in government, and they're in government as we speak.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason they are there is not because they are the sons of anybody or the daughters of anybody. It is because they have so developed their competence such that they cannot be ignored, even by the government.
Okay, we've got another call. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. My name is Caesar Ogbeshi. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Glad to have you join us. What's your contribution?
Yes, my contribution is that though the topic there is that people have complained that Nigerian youth are not ready, really I want to say something in regards to our youth. It has become an endemic that Nigerian youth are blaming the government or one personality or an institution or the other. But like the guest there was just saying, what the Nigerian used to do, what the Nigerian youth need to do is not to continue to concentrate on the blame game. I think it is time for the Nigerian youth now to go for individual development, as even the guests have said that be a global champion, where you become a personality that you will be reckoned with. It has come to a point that the Nigerian youth have to stop shifting blame and saying the government is the people are saying themselves outside. I can start categorically and say that they are university students that go to school and train themselves now with hand labor. They are not looking for opportunities or where one big man or one charity organization will come and say they should become this or that. They have made themselves to become relevant into society. If you go even in the technological industry, in the marketing industry, you see many entrepreneurs that have risen this day, that have risen to prominent position even without the help of any organization. So it is not even the fault of the government. If you want to keep blaming the government, we continue to blame the government. There is no government in the whole wide world that is 100% sure of encouraging its youth.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We got a point. We really do appreciate you. But I love the way the conversation is steering towards the end of this open access. I love the fact that it's about taking initiative as against
waiting to in anything.
Demand it.
Yeah. You know, you demand it not by the things you say. And you know, so that this doesn't sound very theoretical, I don't like doing this, but again, let me do it. So the gentleman Abiola Salami, in my first year in the university, I lost my dad. And in Africa, when that happens to you, it looks like that's the end, right? So the last 3 years, I had to sort out myself in school. I could do music, so I was playing music, you know, anywhere, anytime. I played the piano, organized this choir somewhere. So small money that I can't sort out my school fees, sort out my handouts, you know, handouts.
Yeah.
You know, sort out everything. You know, finally became a graduate. You know, then of course got into the corporate world. Well, no father, nobody, and anything. But the competence started making a way. You know, because even in certain places, when you know people, even when you know people, the people you know will open the door for you. Your ability is what will determine whether you stay in the room or they will throw you out of the room. You know, so I mean, consistent commitment to developing my competence. I am proud to say that I am an export for Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian groom. I've been to a number of countries where I've been invited to come and speak, to add value, to train their staff, to transform their organizations in a number of places. Now, this is a Nigerian, like some of you watching me, who does not know anybody. And what you want to do as a Nigerian is not looking at the people you don't have or the people you don't know. Look at shaking this land so that those big men will come and shake your hand. Somebody said that when you get into a place, wherever it is that you've grown up, don't look at shaking the hands of the big men in the place. Shake the land so that the big men will come and shake your hand. No excuses, guys.
Honestly, that's how it works. And I can cite several examples of so many young Nigerians that comes to mind even as I speak, that actually did it by sheer will of determination.
And that's what will get you there.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Godwin Enahena.
Your name didn't work for us yesterday.
Oh, okay. Is Godwin ready for Sports Splash? How are you doing? I know we lost yesterday, but now we're standing. I know you're always ready when it comes to sports.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, ma?
I always say I'm trying to be fine, and people say, why are you trying? It's just my usual slogan, so I'm trying to be fine.
Danny.
Yeah.
But what's the thing with the Yoruba?
I don't know. He's always using us as practice
session.
You know, I'll shock you guys one day. I'll come here and do this show in Yoruba. Do this show.
We'll be waiting.
Okay.
We'll be waiting.
Yes, sir.
Well, Gordon, before you go ahead, we have a couple of messages, and I'd like to quickly take them.
Go ahead.
Good morning. What can the youths do in this country where leaders that gained independence for Nigeria are still in government? Mr. Abiola Salami, when are you coming to UI? And that's from when you were in Ibadan. I want to know when you're coming to UI.
Okay, so where do I start from? When are you coming to UI? I'll come to UI when I'm invited to come.
Okay then, this one is from Dr. Akitsuji in Ondo. Nigerian youths are one of the best in the world. Let's help them build a better future. Right on spot, Dr. Akitsuji, thank you. Good morning, kudos to LTV. I salute you, Oga Salami. Please, how can we meet you? This is a nice show. Kudos, Imam from Ofa, Kwara State. Maybe you should just give us your social media handle.
Okay, so on Instagram, it is Abiola_champ. That's it on Instagram. On Twitter, it is Abiola Champ. On Facebook, it is Abiola Champ Salami. And you can shoot us an email at hello@abiolachamp.com. Everything Abiola Champ. The website, www.abiolachamp.com.
And champ is CHAMP.
And for mango.
Okay then, Godwin, what do you have to say about the match